Hi.
Did you enjoy our presentation?
I did. I thought it was really fun. Oh, I wish I'd charged my computer in between classes, but I did not. I could charge it for a few minutes.
I am so tired.
Me too.
Sometimes it cats out.
Hi. Let me write you a pass.
I went to sleep and we got the wake me up in the middle of the night.
Does she know you're coming down there?
Yeah.
Okay, let me write it then. And we'll be all good. Isaiah Smalls. Okie doke, you're good.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So I got like USB.
That's a pain.
Yeah.
It can really throw you off. I had a hard time sleeping like all of last week basically, and I feel like I'm just now starting to catch up.
Noticing now, I'm always like, my body is on the schedule where it has to wake up in the middle of the night for absolutely
Yeah.
no reason.
I hate that.
Except if I have the keys. I can
Yeah.
So it'll do that. It'll be like, hey, you have the key. And like,
Get up now.
yeah, and it'll be like 4 a.m. It's like, oh great.
What? What?
So it was really serious. I couldn't stay behind and look at the podcast.
Oh, yeah. You know, the thing is though, I never stopped recording, so it's on YouTube now. Yeah, well, it'll be like, you know, I upload all of our Zooms to YouTube after class is over, and I just never stopped recording when they did it. So I didn't tell them that.
It blows up.
It goes viral.
That is
James, what is his name here? Well, he's trying to sign in. He changed his name to James I Beat the Vid. Probably. I'll wait on some other folks to get in because nobody from the group who's going today is in yet.
Nobody.
No, just James and LeBron. Technically, James is in the group, but he hasn't been here. So
He in our group?
no, he's in CC's
Oh.
group.
Genesis
James,
here.
not yet. Zane, you're here.
What's the YouTube channel called, Miss?
I don't know what it's called, but if you go to Canvas, it's like that.
Yeah, Miss McClellan.
Hey. Yeah, like on the home page, you can click on this little thing and it just takes you there.
Okay.
And that's all of our classes.
Do you know who's supposed to be watching us to message class?
I don't know.
It's only me and Elijah.
Alexis is joining right now.
Hello.
Hi.
I like.
Hello. Kat, say hello.
Hi.
It's Miss McClellan. Sorry. I was doing study hall with her.
Gotcha.
Geometry.
Wait, Kat?
Here comes Cece.
Yes.
Let me see.
Oh my god, it's your girlfriend.
Period. I only see the recording button. I hope you're
Okay.
Hi, Kat. Hello, Kat.
Hi,
Hi,
This-
Alyssa.
That's probably the best thing I've ever done in my entire life. That took skill to
What?
focus on you and then still have you. Wow. Wow.
Your other group member is not here yet. He's always like a minute or two late.
Oh yeah, hello James. Welcome
Oh,
to
yeah. What's up,
like to
James?
be
I'm glad you could show up. I'm so happy you're here. We have much to talk about, kind sir.
Would you
Right.
like to contribute today is the question.
Okay, here, we'll give you this option because we're resilient teachers, all of us.
I can give you a vocab word.
We can give you words, or you could just sit this project out and then just do other work. What would you like to do, James?
Because you did have COVID.
Yeah, you did have COVID, so we're gonna let you off with that. But
I mean, but if you
could-
want to contribute, it would be very, very lovely of you.
you could still get some partial grade because you are contributing something. But just so
And I don't
you
know if you
know,
like
we
me,
all
need
know
that
that
grade.
we all know that you didn't do anything, which is okay. That's not what we're saying. But
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna take the paper. Yeah.
do you guys, okay, so last year I got this little Marvel thing. It's an advent calendar, but you open it up and you get little Funko Pops with it. Do you guys want to do that with me? I've opened up, 9 already? Do you guys want to continue doing it with me for the rest of the Christmas?
Yes.
All right, cool. Hold on.
Why are you really closer to the camera?
I just sent my best friend her first Christmas present, and it's a 12-day. She really likes socks. And it's one of those 12-day, 12 days of Christmas Advent sock calendars, and it has the character egg cartoon guy.
Cute.
You
Okay.
have no idea what I'm talking about.
Well, I don't know where Genesis is. I'm gonna go ahead and.
Okay, so here was the first. It's the Golden Iron Man. Okay. The second was the Red Hulk.
Tell me why that looks like chocolate to me.
Can you be quiet?
Miss McClellan, I'll
Okay.
send you the poem today.
It looks like edible animated cartoon
What
figure.
is Venom.
I have a
fourth
couple.
one-
I don't
I
know
got
which
her
one you picked because
bits.
some of my poems is a
Oh,
little.
the little egg character. The fourth
They're
one was
socks.
America.
They're
These
not bad. But the poem I can't really grab one of the poems I like because
This one was
I think it's a little bit sexist.
Okay.
Now I'm messing with you, but just it's a
Unsurprising to me.
disappointed but not surprised. The sixth one is a
actually
little
no, just
guardian.
question
I
nature.
don't know what her
I'll
name
send you one of them.
Wait, Miss McClellan, I
Yeah.
have to show you the gag gift I ordered
Okay.
for my Christmas party because I think you just would like it a little bit too much.
Okay.
This one is Daredevil. This one took me like a week to figure out, but this one's Daredevil.
I got
Oh,
a Zen Garden litter box.
boxes.
I saw it and I was just like, it's too good, man.
That
And
is
then
funny.
this one. I haven't opened it, but this is what the box looks like.
Oh, cute.
And then I opened them last year, but I'm doing this every year now. So today is the 10th, and I don't know what the 10th is. I forgot. It's Miles Morales! I like this one. Oh my goodness. They're so excited.
Okay, before I turn the class over to you guys, I just wanted to point out that I also uploaded a Google form. It's listed as an assignment, but it's called Group Project Reflection. You just fill out the Google form, and it's basically just like, how do you think the group project went? Do you need me to know anything about like people who didn't do work or anything like that? So it's just like 4 or 5 questions. So if y'all will take the time to fill that out, I'd love to have that info before I actually give you a grade.
Okay.
So I will turn it over to you guys. I'm gonna plug this in so that everybody can see.
Wait. I need 1
Okay.
second.
Let me get my screen organized before I put everything out there for everyone to see.
Oh, and the sky is blue. Oh, the leaves are brown.
There we go.
Okay.
No, she has not.
Where's she at?
I need to screen share, Miss McClellan.
Okay.
I know in one of the days we have a She-Hulk in there, and I'm ready for that one. I don't know when, but I know it's coming. I'm excited.
You should be able to share now.
Okay.
Share, Alexis, share.
I'm deciding how I want to share this. Okay, so hold up. Okay. Okay. Are you able to see this good coherently? Okay, this is our first slide. Okay, where is my
What are you doing?
Okay, so I've lost. Okay, hold up. Technical difficulties, guys.
And on our phone.
Okay, I can see my mouse now. Okay.
All the leaves are brown.
There. So, this is our first Rip Van Winkle slide, which is just some vocabulary words that was used in the story. The story is like a 40-minute video. So I was kind of deciding if we wanted to like put the playback speed to ×2 and see how everything goes, but I found some other stuff, but that'll come later. And then I have some literary terms and some questions for you guys afterwards. And hopefully I'll be able to keep your guys' attention. And also I forgot to add, if anyone in the classroom would like to join the Zoom so that they can see this stuff, because since we're not like there in the classroom, it's a little bit.
Yeah, I just plugged into the screen, so.
Okay, so everybody's good? Okay. So this is our vocabulary list. Okay, technical difficulty. Okay. See.
Conscientious means careful, painstaking, particular, controlled by conscience. Amanda was conscientious when she was doing her homework. Amiable. Having good nature, pleasant qualities, friendly. Joe is amiable to his football teammates. Placid, calm. Andrea is not placid when someone backstabs her. Oh. Vehemently, I had to look this one up. This one was hard to say. Vehemently, impassioned, strong, emotional. Courtney is vehement about her jelly shoes. Oh, period. I had to, oh my goodness. Reiterate, to repeat, do again. The students were not listening, so Mrs. Brown had to reiterate the directions again. Fidelity, loyal, faithfulness. Elizabeth was upset about John's lack of fidelity.
Nice.
I know the sentences are great.
These are pretty good. Showing strict regard for what one regards as right. Mrs. Rayner was scrupulous about wanting students to be quiet.
Okay, so those were our vocabulary words, and now I have, if these are in the correct order, which they should be,
says plug in your laptop.
That's what I'm literally about to do. Is this too loud? Can everyone hear?
Oh, it's fine.
Okay.
Writing's not that easy,
Sir.
but Grammarly can help. This sentence is grammatically...
Bookending the narrative of Washington Irving's famed short story Rip Van Winkle are brief declarations by the fictional amateur historian Diedrich Knickerbocker, attesting to the absolute truth, with various forms of proof to attest to the validity of the tale he is about to tell. The story Rip Van Winkle then opens with a vivid description of the Hudson River Valley and the story's setting in the Catskill Mountains. Rip Van Winkle lived near the Hudson in a small farming village around the year 1770. In the introduction, readers meet Rip Van Winkle, a simple, well-liked, good-natured guy, but he's meek, and he tries to avoid conflict at all costs. His wife, Dame Van Winkle, berates him constantly for his laziness. Rip is always willing to help out his neighbors, but he's against profitable labor, especially working on his own farm to earn money for his family. As a consequence, his children are ragged, and his wife is perpetually enraged by his indolence. In the rising action, his wife complains
These sound
loudly
effects are taking
and
me out.
constantly about Rip's idleness and carelessness. Sometimes Rip leaves the village with his dog, Wolf, to fish in the Hudson, or to hunt squirrels in the mountains. Or he escapes by sitting with his friends in front of the village inn. On this autumn day, Rip decides he's had enough of his wife's constant harping, so he grabs his rifle and walks off into the mountains with Wolf to find the peace and solitude he craves. As evening approaches, Rip decides it's time to head home. He's about to descend the mountain when he hears a voice calling his name. Wolf growls as Rip's name is called again. Rip spies a man climbing slowly up the mountain, carrying a large keg of liquor on his back. Rip is astonished at the stranger's old-fashioned Dutch clothing. The stranger gestures for Rip to help him carry the heavy keg, and Rip obliges. As they climb, Rip hears a deep, thunderous sound. When the two men reach an open space or amphitheater, Rip sees that the thunder is the sound of a group of men playing nine pins of bowling. These strange men are also dressed in extremely old Dutch-style clothing. Rip finds the entire experience incomprehensible. But the men open the keg and pour the liquor into flagons or pitchers and offer some to Rip. Now, Rip is a naturally thirsty soul, so he drinks glass after glass until he falls into a deep sleep. In the climax of the short story, Rip awakens in daylight. He looks around for his rifle, but sees only a rusted, ruined weapon next to him. He assumes the Dutchman played a trick on him. He calls for Wolf, but his dog is gone. And when he looks for the amphitheater, he finds the entrance to that is gone too. Rip stumbles toward his village, noticing people he doesn't recognize, wearing oddly styled clothing. When Rip strokes his beard, he realizes it's grown incredibly long. The village is greatly changed, with familiar houses replaced by new ones. Rip finds his home decaying and empty, and his beloved inn replaced by the Union Hotel, which has a strange red and white striped flag flying in front of it. The former portrait of King George III has been replaced by a portrait labeled General Washington. Rip sees a man lecturing a group about citizens' rights and elections. Someone asks Rip who he's voting for. He doesn't understand the question and replies that he's a simple man and a loyal subject of the king. The crowd angrily calls him a Tory and accuses Rip of being a spy. A Tory was a supporter of the monarchy and the British during the Revolutionary War. Rip insists he's harmless and asks the crowd what happened to each of his old friends. Most are dead, some were killed in the war. Rip, heartbroken, asks, "Does nobody here know Rip Van Winkle?" Someone in the crowd points out a lazy, ragged man overloafing by a tree. It's Rip Van Winkle Jr., Rip's now grown son. A young woman carrying a child approaches and identifies herself as Judith Gardenier and explains that Rip Van Winkle was her father, who disappeared 20 years earlier. In the falling action, a bewildered Rip Van Winkle realizes he's been asleep for 20 years. Peter Vanderdonk, the oldest villager, is called for. He assures the crowd that strange disappearances in the mountains have happened before. he relates that the ghosts of Dutch explorer Hendrik Hudson and his men return to the Catskills every 20 years to guard their beloved river and to drink and play ninepins, which echoes like thunder throughout the mountains. The crowd seems to accept Rip's tale. In the resolution of the story, Rip remains and lives with his daughter's family, resuming his indolent habits and making friends with some of the townsfolk, living to gossip and telling the tale of his adventure to anyone who will take the time to listen. Imaginary historian Diedrich Knickerbocker implies that folk tales are an important part of a nation's history, even if the tales are not literally true. Critical analysis of Rip Van Winkle may view the tale as a sort of allegory for the Revolutionary War, in which case Dame Van Winkle and her constant demands may represent the demands made upon the American colonies by the British government. Shifts toward political partisanship, mistrust, and boisterous commerce are questionable improvements in the community's way of life, and Irving's writing reveals nostalgia for the old times and a gentle critique of the new. In the story, magic is key. Even in the first sentence, the Catskills are referred to as fairy mountains, implying that they are the home of some type of magic or enchantment. Irving's magical plot, wherein Rip dozes through a war and the birth of a nation, allows him to draw dramatic allegorical relationships between the old and new town, nostalgia for the old ways and bewilderment at the new.
That guy is so enthusiastic.
I like him way more than Hank and John Green, hands down, 100%.
Hello?
Hello? Excuse you.
I was like sitting there trying to skip everything, get back onto my slide. Sorry, okay. So that was our plot summary and analysis, and I just want to ask, is anybody confused on anything that he said too enthusiastically?
Any questions from you two?
Any explanations?
Comments, current concerns?
Indecisiveness?
Well, I have a question for you.
Yes.
How do you feel about Rip Van Winkle?
I think he is a kind-hearted soul who, if he were alive today, would be in the Hufflepuff house. And he's a sweet old man who deserves no wrongdoing against him. And he's a pacifist. And I truly believe that. And all pacifists, unless you are just a rude pacifist, should be pardoned. That's how
Okay.
myself. No. This is not the time yet. We're not done. This comes at the end. You asked me a question. This is the question. That is it.
I said comments, concerns.
This is, Alexis, this comes at the end. I should have said that in the beginning. This comes at the end.
Huh?
This comes with the debate questions.
Okay, well, this little
Philadelphia
video
cream cheese makes your recipes their holiday favorites.
God.
The holidays are made with Philly.
I guess. Let me go off.
No holiday. Sir? These are our themes in the story. It's a little bit shorter. They get shorter as they go, I promise.
Freedom versus tyranny, constancy and change, volunteerism versus work for profit, history and fiction. For a short story, Rip Van Winkle is possessed by some powerful themes. Washington Irving conveys the theme of freedom versus tyranny throughout the story. Rip Van Winkle seeks nothing more than the freedom to be his kind, simple self and to live the idle life he wants to live. The most obvious tyrannical force constraining Rip's freedom is his wife, as she nags him constantly and ferociously to work on their farm and
It is a lot of repeating, I will say, because he goes over like every aspect. He's too thorough, almost
I like that.
a little bit too thorough. But I promise this story is going to be drilled into your head by the end of it. And
yeah, 100%.
that's the meaning of all of this.
This is where your question comes in, LeBron. This is where your question will come in. After this video, then you can say how you feel. This is where this will come in.
Rip escapes.
I have another video after this.
Okay, well, then after that, then that's when your comment and question can come in.
Okay.
form of tyranny by sitting and chatting with his friends, fishing in the Hudson River, or hunting in the Catskill Mountains. Rip rarely thinks about politics. Irving mentions that the early villagers are subjects of King George III, but that fact seems totally immaterial to their lives. So while other colonists may have viewed British dominion as tyranny, the characters in the beginning of the story never refer to it that way. Neither domestic nor civic responsibilities intrude on Rip's lifelong freedom. Irving develops the theme of constancy and change through the actions of his protagonist, who is the embodiment of constancy. Regardless of the vast changes that occur around him, he remains the same. He represents a kind of romantic figure of purity and freedom that persists no matter what upheavals are going on around him. The village itself represents dramatic change over time. The restful inn that Rip and his friends used to gather at becomes a bustling hotel. Not only is the village changed physically, but the nature of the inhabitants seems altered. The sleepy village of the old days is contrasted sharply with the crowded, politics-obsessed town of 2 decades later. Volunteerism versus work for profit is a theme close to Rip Van Winkle's heart. He's happy to work, but only when he volunteers his labor to others. He does not willingly work for his own or his family's profit or benefit. Though he freely helps his neighbors, he refuses to farm his own land that, if well tended, might yield a profit and a living for his family. Rip is the embodiment of early colonial tradition and its simple way of life before an increasingly intense focus on work for money and profit became a hallmark of the United States. History and fiction is a theme that opens and closes the narrative, with the elaborate promise of Irving's made-up narrator, Diedrich Knickerbocker, that the story represents historical fact. Irving wrote both fiction and well-researched history, and in Rip Van Winkle, he explores the divide between fact and fiction and the location of truth in both. He also examines the value of fiction as a complement to historical fact.
Course Hero.
Yay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, and he like basically help people, like help his neighbors and stuff when he can, but he's really lazy when it comes to his own work. And his wife is always like, "You're so willing to help other people. Why don't you do what we need doing on the farm?" And he's just like, "Well,
it can wait."
I know what I did wrong."
Oh, I have them mixed up. Wait, who's in the first day?
All the electrolytes, zero sugar.
Gang, okay.
Okay, this is 2 minutes. Yeah, I knew it. Okay.
Never had a doubt in my mind, Alexis.
This is the symbols.
There
Which
are
are probably
two
the same
important symbols
thing.
in the
The
short
story's
story
very
Rip Van Winkle: the Catskill Mountains and the Inn and Union Hotel. The Catskill Mountains represent mysterious, magical, or supernatural forces of change that affect human life. They are described as having magical hues and shapes, and as fairy mountains. The mountains provide refuge for Rip when he seeks to escape his wife and family responsibilities. The supernatural quality of the mountains is reinforced by the visitation of Hendrik Hudson's ghostly crew every 20 years, an enchantment that physically changes the mountains themselves. And the mountain's magical physical change reflects its ability to alter the flow of time and corresponds to the great changes that have occurred in the village. The Inn and Union Hotel in the village represents the idleness and rejection of profitable work that is the core of Rip's life. The other men who laze in front of the inn also while away much of their time sitting and gossiping in the shade of a large tree. Thus, the inn stands for laziness and unproductive lives. But when Rip returns to the town after his 20-year sleep, he immediately looks for the inn where he lazed away most of his earlier life and finds it's been replaced by the hotel, which is described as a place of bustling political and, one assumes, commercial activity. This hotel represents the new values of commerce, political engagement, and money-making, a direct contrast to the inn it replaced.
Gatorade, zero. All the electrolytes.
do. Okay. So, those were our little YouTube videos. And here are literary terms. So, I'm just going over these so we can get a little bit more, I guess, educated vocabulary to explain some more of this very simple story. So there's inference, prediction, foreshadowing, and setting. Oh, wait, LeBron, what did you need to say after our 3 videos?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. So an inference is an educated guess based on clues in the text and your own knowledge and experience. The prediction is an educated guess about what will happen later. Foreshadowing is a clue, and setting is a physical, geographical, and historical environment in which the story takes place, which I would say this has a very vibrant setting. So if you guys were suspended in time right now and woke up in 2040, what do you think you would see?
Question. What did you say? World War IV. We've already been through 3.
Is that it? Like, can we get anything from the Zoom?
Well, if it's 2040, I'm guessing better technology. The economy still sucks, and probably, if I'm taking a really big guess, we're gonna have a lot of weird stuff. Probably more equality. Might be having a big sign of, I don't know, capitalism. That, or we all just become a bunch of communists. Either or.
You know, I found out, this is so off topic, but like on topic at the same time. My mom supports communism, and she was like, it sounds good on paper. I wonder just how it's going to work. And I was like, I mean, go off, I guess. Like,
I mean, that's true. Communism sounds good on paper, but
oh, it really does. It's not
only on paper.
Only on paper. I love my mother, but sometimes she just.
Like, we Americans, we have the mentality of you get paid how much you work. That's our mentality.
Yeah. You know what? No, because every time I think about that, work pisses me off even more. I'm sorry, but I just let's continue with the questions.
No, let's go.
Okay, well, I've actually thought about this question a lot. I don't know. I'm one of those people where my dream life is being a grandma in like a very expensive house. And
Lexus, you won't even be 50 by 2040.
That is very true. But I think about this question a lot. Like when I'm a grandma, like I probably am going to see the world exactly how my mom sees the world right now and can't understand it. And it's one of those things where that's why I think we should respect our elders, because they got a literal right to be grumpy for the rest of their lives until they die. And I think that's just a cool way to end your life, you know?
I full-heartedly agree with that. Just
don't be like rude, but just be like,
don't be rude, but like, I mean, go
do
off.
what you want to do.
Yeah.
You're old. You literally can make up any excuse in the entire book. You can be like, sorry, I forget some things sometimes. Like, and they have to believe you. You're old. Okay, sorry, that's not topic. Did you see any foreshadowing in the story?
Okay, because they haven't read any of the story, I'll say it. No, I did not. And here's why. Like, you're laughing at me, but I really genuinely did not expect that. It was such a huge plot twist. I was like, what the heck? Where did this come from? So, like, it's the 1700s. Like, listen to context clues, and then you'll understand why I'm not crazy for not seeing a foreshadow event. It's the 1700s, and then all of a sudden, you're, like, walking with your dog up a mountain, and then just people out of nowhere are just there having fun, and you're like, okay, I guess. And then you go to sleep, and then you wake up 20 years in the future. Like, that just doesn't automatically, it just pops up in my brain. Like, I'm not just going to think that's exactly what's going. No. What I'm thinking is, oh my God, this man fell asleep on the mountain. They thought he was dead, and now he a ghost. Like, that's what was going through my head. I did not think that he was just going to age 20 years into the future, and everything was changed. Like, that's not what I was thinking at all. That I did not see any foreshadowing.
Was there any foreshadowing about, like, from before he went to sleep, about how, like, the country was changing and maybe, like, on the verge of a revolution or anything like that?
There really wasn't any foreshadowing like that. Again, it's supposed to be like that was the simple life before the taxes, before Britain was broke, like
before,
and it was like really a simpler life. Like, they really were British people that were just like living outside of Britain. Like, that's what they identified as. Like, that's who they thought they were. And so he really slept through like all of the abuse and like stuff like that. And he really skipped out on like a major part. It's like if somebody like lost their phone before the Black Lives Matter movement and then just like walked into the street. Like, that's how I think it would be. Like, they would be like,
it's like if you like just legit, like, do you ever, okay, I don't know, because I'm a bad kid, and I don't know if y'all bad kids too, but I usually get my phone taken away like all the time. So like whenever I don't have a phone, I be missing all these trends, and then when I get my phone back and I pop up, all of a sudden everybody's like whoop-de-whoop, blah blah blah. Like, I feel like that's what happens, because I genuinely, like, what was it? For the longest time, that video a year ago came out with Anthony Padilla and Corpse Husband and Swagger Souls and all of them, no faces of YouTube, right? And then I'm like not on my phone, and I watched that video during the summer. And then I get back on my phone, and then all of a sudden Corpse Husband is this big person, and whoop-de-whoop, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, what the heck happened? I do not remember ever him being so popular. Like, I used to watch his videos, but not a lot, because I don't like scary stories. But this is just what I remember. How come we're all of a sudden, like, where did this come from? So I get it. It's just not what I just be thinking about sometimes.
Like, it's so hard to think about if we fell asleep for 20 years now, what would the world be like in 2040? It's so hard to think about because stuff moves so fast now to where, like, if you don't have a phone for like a couple weeks, you're going to miss out on all this stuff. Stuff just moves so fast now because of technology that, like, who knows what the world's going to be like in 20 years, especially considering the fact that, like, we're actually really going through a lot of change in our country right now. It's hard to predict.
I know one thing that even though I had my phone, I just completely missed out. So I don't mean, like, well, yes, I do. Let me not say that. Let me just bring this up, and then y'all feel how y'all want to feel about it. So apparently on December 21st at like 12 a.m., people of color, specifically Black people, are supposed to be getting superpowers. Now, I don't know where this came from, but it's because I don't have a Twitter. I don't know. Like, you're looking at me like I'm crazy, but everybody's like, oh my God, this is really happening.
A book I read.
I don't know where it's come from. I don't know where it's coming from. But that's because I just don't have Twitter, and I just can't look at it. So now that I know this, I'm like sitting here confused. Nobody else is talking about it. It's just a Twitter thing.
Wait, what's called?
I don't know. Everybody's like,
what you said.
On the 21st of December, Black people are supposed to get superpowers. That's what was told. And it's supposed to be based off of your like the group of signs that you're in. So if you're a fire sign, you like get like sort of Fire Nation powers, or like if you're an air sign, you get air. I don't know what's going on, and I'm so confused. I feel old because I just don't know what the heck is going on. Like, nobody tells me these things anymore. They're just automatically, you're supposed to just know now. Like, I feel like
I ended up on shifting TikTok one time, and it was like Hogwarts shifting, and I don't even like Hogwarts. I don't even know how I got onto that side, but they were like, yeah, go check your mailbox at 3 p.m. today. Your Hogwarts letter is coming in. And I was like, girl, it's 3:16. I missed the cut.
Right. Like, I don't know. I just don't understand where anything is coming from now. And now I feel like I'm missing everything. And I know everybody else missing it. If I'm missing it, everybody else surely missing it. Unless I'm just the only one. I keep missing meetings for everything. I'm sorry. Let me just, one more thing, and then we can move on to the last question. Do you know that they are like making fun of people for doing the anime thing on TikTok from the Kakaguri thing? And I didn't know that people were making fun of them until I like got onto it, and I was like, what is going on? And then people were making, I am so confused on everything. Somebody brief me on social media, because I'm literally so freaking confused at this point. I don't know.
Not gonna lie, social media is weird, and I try my best not to care about it. But on the question of that, I don't know. Getting stuck at a time, it seemed kind of fun. Just think about it. If you're, all right, let me put this concept in your head. You're in the future. You can do the most crapped up things, and guess what? It won't affect you. Not one thing. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter, because in the future, it's different rules. If you're in the past, you have to be careful. In the future, no, this is the future. I can do whatever the heck I want. Don't care about it.
No.
Like, no further explanation, just no.
Oh, because you have to really think about it. In the future, you have no consequences.
No.
You literally would probably get arrested by the police. There are multiple consequences for including time police consequences.
If there's time travel, there's definitely time police. Yeah.
Okay, listen, I'm so deep into aliens, okay? You really can't mess with me.
Don't get me started. I'm about to turn into Blended Blanding on you, man. Real quick. Like, if you're in the future and you do something that's gonna mess it up, you're gonna mess up your past. There's just no way. And you're gonna mess up your present that you're supposed to be in. You're gonna mess it up. Because now that you know what you're in the future, you're gonna affect the change knowing what you know. Have you not seen Back to the Future? It's the same concept.
Hypothetically. Okay, this is why I said we're going to take up the entire time of class. I knew somehow we were going to get in an argument in this class. We always do. It's just our thing. It's how we show love. But let's say you go into the future, you kill somebody, you go back. Now you have that knowledge of you killing somebody in your head. You may not have consequences of like actually going there and getting arrested for murder, which you should, but you have like the mental trauma of killing somebody, and you will always live like that. Now,
now that you know that you killed somebody, exactly,
off of course of wherever you're supposed to be.
Let me explain.
And now that you know that you killed somebody, that's gonna happen in the future. When you get there, if you try to go there normally, that's gonna happen in the future because you made it happen while you were there.
Hold up, that doesn't make any sense. I have the knowledge, and I went back. I have the knowledge of the things I did, and I don't have to worry about any of that because time is not just one straight line. It's a branch. You can take multiple paths, and guess what? You can change different outcomes. Time is not linear. So let's say I do kill a person. Go back, right back in time where I was. Guess what? If I decide I don't want to go back, if I decide like I don't want to go to the future anymore, that's it. I don't have to worry about me. That person again because I'd be long dead.
I
If
think
I was in the past,
under this.
No, that's not technically okay. That is a complete. Those are two completely different things in my thing. Those are dimensions, and time is time. So you can take that. You can go like.
we're going through this whole parallel
time,
universe stuff.
Go
We gotta
to
go
a
this
different
whole long
time and be
explanation.
like, oh, I don't want to time travel anymore. In that dimension, you'll still be time traveling and still kill that person. It's just in a different dimension, and it's not affecting your present reality.
Period.
And then you'll be shifting your dimension. So literally, you could shift into a different dimension where like Hitler's still alive, and he runs like all of Europe. You don't know what. Okay, sorry.
We have 10
We're
minutes.
so off topic. We're so off. No, we need to recenter.
Okay. We
Okay,
obviously the last question is supernatural or concussion. This should only be
This
one
was the
word
debate.
answer. One word answer. That's it, because we have to get through it, and then we can come back to this. Okay.
Oh wait, no. Let me check the time.
It's
Okay,
11:37.
we got time for this.
Yeah.
We got time.
But let's make this a one word answer, and then come back and finish all this, and then come back.
What?
Once we
okay. Supernatural or concussion? Go.
Supernatural.
LeBron, supernatural or concussion?
Supernatural.
Zane, supernatural or concussion?
Well, it's not that you want one. It's just like, do you think that he went through a supernatural experience, or did he just have a concussion?
Okay.
So supernatural concussion.
Makes sense.
Supernatural?
Is supernatural?
That's what I went with too. A
It's
supernatural
Zane.
concussion.
Okay, supernatural or concussion? Supernatural. Good answer, Kate. Genesis, supernatural or concussion? Supernatural. Anybody else in this class? Nope, that's us. I think it was supernatural. Okay, we can continue.
Okay, so this is just like a review. And now my computer's broke. Okay. So this is just stereotyping and inflated diction, which is just a little more literary terms for the English teacher. But anyways, so the stereotyping is Damon, Rip Van Winkle are both examples stereotyped character in our society today. So it's the woman who wants her husband to work like for the thing, and the husband who's like, let's be a man. But anyway, and so how do the nagging wife and disenchanted husband still fit in our culture today? What are some examples? So what are
It happens all the time in sitcoms. If you look at stuff like Everybody Loves Raymond or King of Queens.
You're going too fast, Mr. Cullen.
Yes. Preach. Oh my God.
What are some today's in our culture? Like in real life.
The Simpsons. The Simpsons.
That's not easy. We went on
Family Guy.
Girl, what are some examples? TV shows, movies,
Family Guy.
That's all I wanted.
In those specific episodes
where you can't go into this because you know what's next.
I know, but let me say, in those specific episodes when Lois gets on Peter about doing something stupid, like she always beats on him afterwards because she's always like, stop doing what you're doing. That is a specific example. That is what the question is. Okay, we can continue. I'm sorry. Dang. Go.
Okay. So, relation to film. Since you want to go too fast. And then even when I tell you to stop, you keep going.
But you never said literally. I never said literally.
This was the debate. This is why I said we were going to take.
We don't need to have this conversation.
Me and Cece, quality work. Okay. God. What movies can you think of that have a nagging wife and complacent husband? How are these characters similar to Rip Van Winkle and his wife? And how does this relate
Tyler Perry
to
movies.
stereotyping?
Period. Tyler Perry movies. Continue. Explain. Example. Give an example.
I don't know. The Mad Black Woman, Family Reunion. There's always been nagging.
The Diary of a Mad Black Woman is good, but she is not a nagging wife. She is a
We all have that.
Baby mom.
She's a complacent wife, and he is a nagging husband. If we were really to make it, and even then,
Either or, just nagging.
he wasn't even nagging. He was just a butthole. So, but yeah, that's a good one. Oh, in the Medea's family reunion, when she throws the pot of grits on him, that one. Yes.
I mean, she's not a nagging wife, though.
Not a nagging wife either. She's Okay, never mind. Tyler Perry movies, scratch them because they don't have any. Oh no, that's not true. Why did I get married to? Why did I get married? Why did I get married to? And Angela and what's his name? She is a nagging wife and he is a complacent husband. That's
okay.
I don't know why this is not connected.
I have this one. It's
Oh, I'm on 8%. Well, we only
Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man.
Yes. Exactly.
Nagging wife, nagging girlfriend who wants to get married and like actually start their life together. Guy who wants to just like live in his childhood phase. Perfect.
And
Alyssa, can you add anything?
Yes, Alyssa, because I know you be watching stuff.
Yeah.
It's like you don't even hear the words that I speak sometimes.
I know one. It's such a simple one. In Fairly Odd Parents, the mom is a nagging wife and Timmy's dad is a complacent husband.
Yes.
Cosmo Wanda! Cosmo's a complacent husband. Wanda is a nagging wife. Look it! Period. Oh my God. I'm skyrocketing right now. Okay.
Cinderella.
Yeah.
Cat.
Basement husband.
You want me to add on?
Yes, please, sir.
Okay.
Anybody add on, because we just spitballing here now.
It's literally our own class that we're just presenting this. LeBron's pushing some spices in here.
The only guy in this room on Zoom that's talking. Anyone else?
We got 3 minutes.
Don't Mine at Night. Don't Mine at Night. That has a nagging wife and a complacent husband. Okay, anyways.
I mean, I know they're not a couple, but.
A complacent husband.
Oh.
Easy. They're not really together, but they make it seem that they're together. In the Dork Diary series, Mackenzie and Brandon, she's a nagging wife / girlfriend, and he's a complacent husband.
Peppermint Patty and Charlie Brown.
Yes! Oh my God! She's so
Whoa. My mind is being blown.
Okay, I'm gonna spitball Disney movie princess.
Is it Linus and Lucy? No. What's her name? Charlie Brown's little sister and Sally.
Disney movies moms.
Yeah. Talladega Nights. Ricky Bobby's wife and Ricky Bobby. Complacent husband, nagging wife. She also a gold digger, but that's
Dr. Doofenshmirtz and his ex-wife.
Yes.
Didn't they come back together at the end?
Okay. Jade West and Beck from Victorious.
Yes.
I just popped my band laughing.
The bell's about to ring. Do y'all want to wrap up?
That's basically it. Other than that, I have some diction examples, and then that was it.
Moral of this
story. We take up the whole time.
Moral of the story.
Don't Mine at Night.
Night. Period.
The moral of the story is, if I ever go into the future, y'all know what I'm gonna do. Have fun.
Don't murder. If If we all in the future and we see LeBron and he immediately call the police. Don't even question him, just call the police.
Just next time you see LeBron, call the police.
Call the police. As soon as we see young LeBron, call the police. That is.
When you see me, I'm gonna be like, okay, let me study this world, then start screwing it up.
No, we gonna call the police as soon as we see your tail. Call the police.
Okay, have fun, guys.
Like my little self. I feel like you would try to groom him to be something else.
Happy Rick Van Winkle Day, I guess. Have fun. Hope you like the presentation.
Thanks.
Lunches.
Alexis worked really hard on that, so everybody give credit towards her. The rest of us didn't do anything. I can tell you that right now. I will be behind.
At least you presented. You contributed most to the conversation.
I did contribute. I'm glad you said something because Kaden
just laid on my cat. Okay,
is it a little bit? Oh wait. Okay.
Yes, it's okay.
Or a little bit. Okay. I guess we can go now.
See you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Kitty.